Hey guys, so today I've got a few things Qubic related that I want to talk to you about. So I've got some bad news and then I've got some really good news. So we'll talk about that in this video. We're going to talk about the recent Epoch transition, and we're going to talk about the Qubic ecosystem and what you can expect in the future. So yeah, guys, let's talk about the bad news first and get it out of the way. So we got so today we went through our latest Epoch transition, just like we do every Wednesday, and we've made it to our 106th Epoch transition. And as we can see, this is an announcement that was on the Qubic Discord, and they just announced this one is maintaining stability and precision. So they said that from today, from 12 to 1 o'clock, we continue to enhance the reliability and efficiency of the Qubic network with our routine Epoch transition. Our focus remains on ensuring seamless operations and preparing for future advancements. So then they put in what their current focus is, and they said the current focus is seamless transitions. So as always, we are conducting a seamless transition today, maintaining uninterrupted network operations. Computer operators, please ensure your nodes are set correctly. Main for continued main operations and so on. Only one main node should be active. So this is obviously good news. Again, we've hit another seamless transition. Apparently, these seamless transitions are becoming more and more automated and are nearly fully automated now. And it's just a big deal to see that there's no downtime in the network. So that's mildly good news, but we've come to expect that now. So the bad news is that we were hoping to see the first Qubic exchange released this week on the Qubic network, which would have been the first major decentralized app released on the Qubic network. And as they say here, ongoing QX development. While the QX and our new smart contract system show promising advancements on the testnet, we have decided to extend the testing period. This is to ensure the utmost stability and functionality before these features go live. So yeah, that's disappointing news. I think we were all expecting to see QX launched this week. A lot of us were expecting to see it launched last week. And we were also really looking forward to see that new smart contract system and the beginning of the Qubic ecosystem. So that's mildly disappointing, I admit. This is what they went on to say then afterwards. They said the integration of QX and the smart contract system into our main network is on the horizon. We are committed to thorough testing to avoid any potential issues in the main net, aiming for a rollout in a future epoch once we are confident in their performance and security. And then they finish by saying, your participation and feedback during the testing phase are invaluable. Stay tuned for further updates as we refine these technologies. We appreciate your continued support and patience as we work towards a seamless and robust Qubic network. So that's their update, not giving an exact timeline of when we can expect to see QX or the new smart contract system, but it's coming soon. As usual then, on X, you get, some people a little bit worried about these things. So you see this person here commented again. They're sick of waiting, I guess. And then if you don't follow this guy on guy or girl, I'm not sure what they are, but if you don't follow them on X, their name is Crypto Phoenix, and they're brilliant. I love tracking what they put out in X. So they're really worth following, and they're always a calm voice and a voice of reason. And they just said, believe me, you better launch later, but without issues, than launching earlier with issues. And that completely shares my thoughts on this as well. QX, or the Qubic exchange, it will come. We've only been talking about this for a month or more. It will come. The smart contracts update will come. The exchange listings will come. All this is coming to the Qubic network. It's all in testing. The most important part is that it's in testing. If this stuff was just, me talking and dreaming about it, that would be scary. But the fact that all the stuff is in testing, it's going to come in no time, and it's going to be exciting. and it's gonna work out well for us all that are holding Qubic. It also means that Qubic, that these developments are probably going to increase the price of Qubic. Definitely going to increase the price of Qubic over time, but probably even in the short term they'll increase the price of Qubic. So we're still able, all the time these updates aren't released, it just gives you more opportunity to buy and collect more Qubic at lower prices. So it's bad news because we didn't get the new exchange, we didn't get the smart contracts update, but it's coming. So no need to panic. So then this got me on to thinking about the bigger picture of what an exchange and what smart contracts look like for a layer 1 project like Qubic, that can do 40 million transactions per second, that trains AI, that has feeless transactions. And this got me thinking about the big picture and how exciting it is. And this is the good news that I want to share with all you guys. And, you've only got to look at some of the top cryptos out there. Most of them are layer 1 cryptocurrencies, just like Qubic is. And by layer 1, I mean that decentralized apps can be built on top of it. Other blockchains can be built on top of it. Basically, the whole world could be built on top of these blockchains. But Qubic is one of the only blockchains that can scale, serves the needs of the world. But if we look at some other blockchains, we can see right now that these are all layer 1 blockchains that have loads of apps built on top of them. So we can see that Binance Chain is the top one here. It's got 5,200 apps built on it. Ethereum is 4,500. Polygon is 2,000. Tron has 1,300. And we're working all the way down here, seeing what these layer 1s are like. And generally, once a layer 1 project gets more apps built on top of it, that equals the project increasing dramatically in value over time. And when smart contracts are running and being executed on top of these platforms, as you can see, all the contracts that are being executed on top of the Ethereum platform generally equals the price increasing. So these updates will eventually, they mightn't initially, but eventually will lead to the price of Qubic increasing, and they should open the doorway to many more apps being built on top of the Qubic network. So we just have to be patient and see this as a good time to buy Qubic. All these cryptos went through the same issues, went through the same starting phase, and all of them grew a lot and made people a lot of money who invested early and just held their bags and trusted in the process. And this is what I want to talk about, just with a Web3 economy being built on top of Qubic. If you look here, so I basically just ripped off some pictures that people had made for Ethereum here and just put the Qubic logo over them. But it's the same idea. Ethereum originally was meant to be this supercomputer that was going to join the whole world together, but it's just not scalable to do that job. It's not able to do it. But Qubic appears to, look, the proof will be in the pudding. I don't want to say anything for definite, but Qubic appears to have the power to scale to serve the needs of the world. And, these Web3 economies, what they're going to include with smart contracts are things like your shopping, cars, like automated driving and automated services can all run on top of a network like Qubic, and people can get paid on Qubic as smart contracts are executed. So, for example, what I mean by automated driving, let's say with an app on your phone, you were able to call the car that drove automatically to your house, that was powered by Qubic's AI, drove to your house, and then when it got to the house, it picks you up, and the second it drops you off at the location you're meant to go to, the smart contract executes, takes the money out of your account, and gives it to the car owner. And at the same time, the car is owned by multiple people all over the world that are funding that car, and they're all getting paid micropayments through the Qubic network, funding them with profit as investors in micropayments as those smart contracts are getting executed. And there's no people involved in the whole network. Same with your house. The deeds of your house could be included on the Qubic network, but also as your house is getting built, it could be, as it reaches each phase, a smart contract could execute that takes money out of your account and pays the builders to continue the process and keep them liquid in the process as they're doing things. And again, a group of investors could be all invested in giving the money to build your house, invested in maybe the building firm that's building your house, and as you're paying possibly a loan back, that loan is going back to all these investors that loaned you the money, all coming out of smart contracts, out of your salary. At the same time, then, as the building work has been done, and as you're making payments on the building work, people all over the world might be funding that building work or funding that company that's doing the building work, and they're all getting paid out in micropayments through smart contracts. So you just got to think of the bigger picture of all this. Even bigger picture is that if Qubic, achieves AGI, and if we look at what's happening with robotic technology, the bigger picture is that something like Qubic could even have robots building your house. But that's out there and a bigger picture. But we're looking at the moment just at small decentralized apps for things like messaging, for things like emailing, for things like online shopping, for crypto wallets, for exchanges, for gaming, just stuff like that, simple stuff. And then it's going to build up over time. Then some of the things with Qubic's potential, and I hope this is okay to read here. I stretched out this picture a bit, so it got a little bit blurry. But this was from Qubic's recent conference they had in Madrid, and these are things that they said were Qubic's potential. So they discussed healthcare. They said, imagine AGI analyzing complex medical data to assist doctors in accurate diagnosis and personalized treatment plans. It could also accelerate drug discovery and create individualized healthcare. Then they talked about education. AGI could personalize tutoring, evaluate student work with real-time feedback, and even create customized educational materials to fit each student's needs. They talked about transportation, as we said already. Self-driving cars, optimized traffic flows, and improved logistics are all possible with AGI. It could revolutionize how we get around and manage supply chains. So again, this is bigger picture stuff we're talking about for the future of the Qubic ecosystem. Some other ideas that they gave was energy. AGI could optimize energy production and distribution through smart grids, develop new renewable energy technologies, and even identify ways to conserve energy. And then material science, AGI could significantly accelerate material discovery and development, simulating materials at the atomic level and designing new materials with never before seen properties, leading to breakthroughs in fields like medicine, aerospace, and clean energy. Obviously, we're thinking of real out there advanced developments on the Qubic network. But right now, I'm just looking at the smaller developments of just building decentralized apps and what that will do for the Qubic ecosystem and how it can drive the Qubic price so much further. So then if we look at the current state of affairs, so firstly, what's going to attract people and projects to the Qubic network? Well, feeless transactions and offline payment verification are going to be really obvious attractors of projects to the Qubic ecosystem. So as it says here, Qubic's one of the few layer ones which doesn't charge for making value transfers. Finality ensures that votes from 451 computers, which are the quorum, are reliable for offline payment verification. So the fact that this can work offline, has true finality, and is feeless, of course that's going to attract projects. And then 40 million transactions per second makes it super scalable and is obviously going to attract projects to it. The fact that there's oracles on the Qubic platform that bridge between the digital blockchain environment and the outside world, that provide real-world data to smart contracts and the Qubic protocol, obviously going to attract projects and decentralized apps. AGART, which is AI built on top of the Qubic network that I'm sure you know all about already, obviously going to attract decentralized apps and create new apps and new reasons for apps, because we're trying to create true AI here with AGART. And then the fact that Qubic is open source is again a big one is that right now you today could go and develop on the Qubic network. There's nothing stopping you. If you're a lot smarter than I am, you can go and do that right now. And then if we look at just the burning and understanding how much new apps being built on the Qubic network can burn out of the Qubic supply, we can see that already just with 3 smart contract IPOs, 10.5 trillion plus Qubic has been burned already. So imagine how many Qubic will be burned when there's apps releasing every week on this platform and when there's smart contracts constantly running on this platform. So that's the bigger picture. There's going to be lots of burns. So all of a sudden, the Qubic that you're holding, even without the Qubic market cap going up, is going to increase in value. And then something that I just wanted to share as well. So this relates to 2 things. Firstly, I just think it's a cool development, but also it's another thing to think about in the bigger picture of what's capable on Qubic is that there is a computer game being released in Q2 of 2024, and it's called My Last Match. It's a post-apocalyptic survival game running via Qubic, and it's planned to give a special gift to every one of its shareholders. The IPO should happen in Q2 of 2024. It'll be a standard Qubic smart contract IPO. What that means is that a lot of Qubic's going to get burnt again, a few trillion probably, since there's going to be smart contract IPO for this in 2024. But it also means that this could just become a complete computer game ecosystem with, who knows, thousands of computer games all getting released on the Qubic network, all having IPOs, all burning some of Qubic's supply. I've seen some pictures of this game. It looks pretty shit right now, but apparently it's just in early phases of development. So let's see how it goes. But it doesn't matter if it's good or not. The whole point is that it's possible, and then you can get good game creators to come onto the Qubic network, and it could be more exciting. I did see some interesting points here from Sergey Ivancheglo or Come From Beyond, just giving random facts about the game. Sounds pretty cool. It's definitely not going to follow traditional gaming standards, and it's not. Apparently, like Steam wouldn't touch this because it's going to be pretty dark. So Sergey just said here, there's no drivable motorcycles in the game because all available gasoline went bad and only diesel vehicles can be used for transportation. This one, he said, there are kid characters in this game which you are able to kill and eat. Most modern games don't have the balls to even depict them. So that shows you where decentralized gaming can go, and shows you the kind of crazy mind that Sergey Ivancheglo has. Kind of last point that I want to get onto here is just talking about projects in the past who have built ecosystems and what happens to those projects. So if we look at Polygon, for example, Qubic is a much more advanced project than Polygon, and a far better project. All right, has that potential anyway. I believe that it will be a better project than Polygon, but time will tell. I don't want to say that for definite, but if you look at Polygon, it peaked around in the last bull run around, I think about $19 billion. I'm taking that number off the top of my head. It was something like that, around 19 billion. And just drawing a line across, it looks like 19 billion. So $19 billion market cap, which, Qubic, we would expect to grow way beyond that. But even from now, if Qubic was to grow to where Polygon grew, we'd be seeing, if you put $1,000 in, you'd be getting a return of about $38,000. You'd be seeing a 38x return, and that's like really realistic for Qubic, and would be kind of a disappointing result for Qubic. As I said, I'm aiming for with Qubic 10 billion to 30 billion market cap, but I think higher is possible because it's such a unique project. So it could perform better than this, but that's when a project starts building out an ecosystem and it's a layer one, that's what's possible, especially when it's a unique project. And Qubic is the most unique project, probably along with CAS. But really, I think Qubic is probably the most unique project of this bull cycle. And then if we look at Solana, another crypto that built out a whole ecosystem. And, you know, the last bull run, it hit like over 70 billion, market cap nearly 80 billion. And then more meme coins were released on Solana during the last couple of months, and it peaked to a $90 billion market cap. And again, I think if Qubic could do what it says that it's going to be able to do, and it could actually achieve that, it's infinitely a better project than Solana. And I think you can start seeing why Sergey Ivancheglo has said that if Qubic can achieve what it's aiming to do with Agart, it will be $1 trillion and above market cap eventually. Now, that's not guaranteed or anything, but, you know, if Qubic, just with the scalability of it and the feeless transactions and having oracles on it and smart contracts and being a reliable network, hopefully, nothing's guaranteed, but hopefully, you know, and bearing in mind Solana isn't a reliable network, it has lots of downtime. You know, if Qubic can hit, could you imagine if it hit 90 billion? That would be 180x from here. So you put $1,000 in, you could make 180,000 back. It's possible. It mightn't happen, but if you're insane if you're sitting there right now and saying it won't hit it, you know, it's definitely not going to hit 90 billion market cap. That's insane thinking, because it happened before with Solana, it's happened with Bitcoin, it's happened with Ethereum, it's happened with Cardano, it's happened so many times. It may not happen. I'm not saying it's guaranteed to happen or anything, but it's possible, and you're crazy to think that it can't. So that's all I've got for you today, guys, and I'm going to see you all on the outside.